Welcome to The Glitter Effect, a podcast dedicated to shining a light on the movers, shakers, change makers, and all-round living legends of our communities who are making a real difference. There are some people who walk through unimaginable hurdles in life and quietly retreat from the world, which is totally understandable. And then there are people like today's guest, people who somehow choose to take everything life has thrown at them and transform it into something that gives hope, courage, and possibility to others. Justine Martin's story is one of extraordinary resilience. She's faced a battle with multiple sclerosis, had 3 heart surgeries, had 3 primary cancers, and is a domestic violence survivor. She's heard words from doctors that would shake anyone to their core and face challenges that many of us simply could not imagine. Yet, despite all of that, she has never allowed those chapters to become the whole story. Instead, she's chosen to ask a different question. How can I use what I've been through to help someone else? And today, Justine is an international keynote speaker, resilience coach, award-winning artist, author, publisher, and founder of Morpheus Publishing, where she's helped countless people find the confidence to share their own stories with the world. Justine knows something many of us forget, and that is that our stories have the power to heal, inspire, and remind someone else that they're not alone. Justine Martin, it is my absolute pleasure to welcome you to The Glitter Effect.
Thanks for having me, Kate.
I'm excited. We actually had the pleasure of meeting each other in person a couple of days ago, which was fabulous. I attended a children's book writing workshop, which was very insightful and very inspiring. So I'm very excited. But today's about you. So let's start at the very, very beginning. Take us all the way back, because there's lots of people who don't know who you are. Take us all the way back to the start of young Justine. Who were you, and what was life like growing up? And tell us some of the experience that have shaped you to who you have become today.
Wow. It's a long time ago now, in my 55 years on the planet. I had a very traumatic childhood. We thought it was normal. We didn't realise that every other kid wasn't going through what we were going through at home. My mum was extremely ill. She had breast cancer at the age of 27. She got MS at 33, cervical cancer when she was 40, and then lung cancer when she was 49. So we never knew what mum was really like. Mm-hmm. We always knew sick mum. We were robbed of that. And because of her illnesses and her disabilities, I became her primary carer for a very long period of time when I should have been out playing with my friends and enjoying what life had to offer. So that shaped me right from the very beginning. My mum was also a narcissist, so I could never do anything right in her eyes. Yeah. My brother could never do anything wrong. So I became a people pleaser from that early childhood. And then single mum at the age of 22, and things just kept rolling. I was in survival for a long period of my life, in just survival mode, and suffered domestic violence in not one relationship, but quite a few. Mm-hmm. I was bringing that same pattern of behaviour back in, attracting the same type of man back into my life. And after my arm was broken and turned around and went, I'm the common denominator on all of this. I'm the one that's going to have to change in order to stop attracting that type of person into my life. And then in 2011, I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. So the same disease my mum passed away from complications from, and my whole world stopped. So in the blink of an eyelid, the world that I knew before no longer existed. My future was going to be different, and I knew what I was in for with seeing what happened to my mum with the disease. So when my doctor said you can't work anymore, I listened to him for about 18 months. But what he should have said to me was, you can't work anymore in the profession that you're in, not that you can't work anymore at all. And I took up a paintbrush, learned how to paint, which wasn't an easy thing going through the art studio door either. I suffered with crippling anxiety, as a lot of people actually do.
What were
One day,
you doing at that point before then?
I was in the wellness industry, actually. I was a Weight Watchers leader for about 8, 9 years, and then became a program director in Jenny Craig. And it's quite ironic now because both of those businesses are no
No
longer.
longer. Yeah.
I would have been forced into retirement. I'm forced into finding a new career back then anyway, if I'd stayed in it. But yeah, I was working for Jenny Craig at the time, and it was the pinnacle of my career that I, would one day end up being one of the managers of their stores,
Yep.
and then all of a sudden someone says to you, "Oh, you can't do this anymore." It was gut wrenching, and I questioned everything in my life, what my purpose now was going to be if I couldn't provide to society, paying tax and being a mother and everything. What was I going to do with the rest of my life?
Mm.
And one thing led to another. Picking up that paintbrush has created a little snowball that turned into an avalanche. Along the way, in a
Yeah.
positive way.
That's
In a
good.
positive way, all the way through there. So
Wow.
yes,
And so
yep.
was there a particular moment then that changed you to who you are today, or was your resilience built over time from after sort of like one chapter after another? Because you're extraordinarily resilient. I mean, I've only recently got to know you, and you are up there with one of the most resilient people I know.
Yeah. Look, two things. Coming through the childhood that I had and no support whatsoever.
Mm.
Um, having to figure things out for yourself builds resilience. We don't realize that we've got resilience until we face a bad life moment. And some of us have more bad life moments than what others do. Someone turned around recently and said to me, "Oh, I don't want to hang around you. Death follows you." And I'm like, "What's
Oh,
talking about?" And I'm actually a funeral celebrant as well. So,
okay.
of course, death's going to be around me, but it's around everyone. People just don't realize it. And I did lose quite a lot of people, have passed away, significant people in my life. But I was very fortunate as well in my early years to have both sets of grandparents, and I had 2 great grandmothers as
Mm.
well. And, in all their passings, that built resilience.
Yep.
And when in 2012, when my fiance walked out on me saying me having MS would affect his goals and dreams in life, I put myself into a counsellor,
Yep.
and I am still with that same counsellor. And I don't see her as often anymore. I was like weekly, then fortnightly. Now it's about every 4 weeks. I pop in and I pay someone to listen to me vent. I
Mm.
pay someone to help me through bad life moments. And I feel lighter when I come back out because I don't believe it's my family or friends' responsibility to hear all the woe me's.
Mm.
I got off my pity party as well. That was one cousin said to me in 2012 when my fiance walked out. She's like, "I'll just get off your pity party," and I'm like, "How dare you say that to me?" But then I
Yeah.
stopped. But I'm like, okay, I am self-wallowing in all of this, and that's not productive. What do I need to do, and do I need to change in order to give myself some positivity back into my life? And how can I take control of my life?
Mm.
And that's exactly what I've done.
So you've gone from I feel like we've chipped and chopped a bit there, but you've gone into painting, so more like that art therapy side of things. And then you've gone in how did you then get into writing, publishing, becoming an international keynote speaker and everything else that comes with it? That's a
Yeah.
huge jump. How did you get there?
I sold my first piece of artwork for $300 6 months after starting to learn how to paint. Turns out I'm pretty good at it. And, 4 months of sitting outside an art studio door crying because I couldn't walk inside. The art teacher turned around after a couple of weeks and went, "Oh, you're a natural at this. You don't need to be here." And I went, What are you talking about?
Excellent.
So I then went from selling that one piece to entering lots of exhibitions, and I've won about 40 art awards for my work. Did community markets. My daughter and I, it was a matter of survival. It's like, okay, well, we'll go down to the Sunday market, set up a stall and see if we can sell some stuff. And then I made cards out of my artwork and trotted along until 2016. I became very ill. So 2013 and 14, I underwent heart surgeries. Then 2016, got quite ill, and it turned out that I actually had 3 primary cancers, stage 4. So,
Wow.
yeah, I had leukemia, and melanoma and lymphoma all at the same time.
Wow. That's a big
And
one.
yeah, it was, and I was dying.
Mm.
But I still went in. I can still remember going into the cancer ward and having chemo and taking artwork with me. So I did use it as a form of therapy. But then as I got through that, everyone wanted to know what my secret was. How did I survive? How did I bounce forward out of that bad life moment? How did I build resilience? And then I started Resilient Mindset. Then from Resilience Mindset, at the time I was a MS ambassador for MS Australia, and someone said to me after one of my talks, "Oh, you're really good at this. You should be paid for it." And I'm like, "What? What? You get paid? You get paid to stand on stage and speak?" I'm like, "Right." And I've never had an issue in saying that I like to earn money.
Yeah.
People are like, "Oh, you should never mention that." And it's like, why? Money just gives us choice.
Yeah.
It gives me a choice that I can help other people. That's what money does for me. It's like, give me more money, I make more money, I can help more people with that money. I can spread more stories around. So, yeah, I started then as a keynote speaker and have had talks overseas, and it's been pinch me moments on crowds in front of thousands of people and get paying really good money for it.
Wow.
In sharing my story, and I came up with the 10 top tips of resilience on how to bounce forward. Because if you look up the definition of resilience in the dictionary, it's about bouncing back. But that's wrong. In my opinion, it's wrong because we are never the same person. We're not the same shape.
Yep.
Then when we went into that bad life moment or that adversity, we're different. We've grown from it. We grow out of adversities. We grow as a person from it.
Yep.
And I put together a little book called Bouncing Forward, which are all my inspirational quotes that I say on stage about bouncing out of the bad life moments. And then I wrote and illustrated a children's book in 2021, and I had a gallery that was open prior to COVID, and it was part of the cafe. And then when COVID happened, I couldn't exhibit anymore. And it's like, well, how am I going to get my artwork out there? So I had a lot of time again on my hands in COVID, and as a lot of us did, we wrote books, and I picked up my first book, Same but Different. And that started the publishing side of it.
So did you publish that? Did you publish those 2 books yourself?
Yes.
Or did
Well,
you? Yeah.
no, I published them under Morpheus Publishing. So
Okay. Yep.
I got 5 contracts. I submitted to 31 publishers, got 5 contracts back, and learn a lot about the publishing industry by doing that. And when I went through the contracts, they weren't going to let me use the copyright of my images for anything else. So I wasn't allowed to make sculptures, which was cutting my nose off to spite myself, all of that. And I went, well, you know what? I'm going to start my own publishing business. I'm going to learn how to become a publisher. Now, for me, I have an acquired brain injury, so it takes a lot longer to learn. But that doesn't mean that I can't learn. It just takes me longer than what the average person does. And, I learned all the way through that in order to build resilience and in order to bounce forward, you can't do it by yourself. You've got to ask for help.
Yeah.
And so I found mentors in the publishing industry that have helped me and have been, I can't even think of the word. I get MS brain farts as well. And And I've learned that's okay.
That's okay.
For
You're human.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So, really good mentors, did a couple of really, really good courses and learned how to become a publisher. And that then really started the avalanche of helping people.
Mm,
And we have a scholarship program through Morpheus that for every able-bodied person that we publish gives us the capacity then to offer a scholarship to someone with a disability to publish their story. So
amazing.
spreading that glitter
I love that.
around. So yeah, it's been extraordinary. I work with a lot of charities. Been working with a charity called Rivers Gift, and I wrote and illustrated their children's book on finding hope. And we've just donated around 10,000 copies of the book to preschools in Queensland.
Amazing.
So
Wow.
pinch me moments in life, and yeah, I still don't believe where I've got to at this stage, and it's not over. Like this is
Yeah.
beginning.
So this to you isn't work. This
No,
is
this
pure
is that's
enjoyment.
the problem. Everyone's saying to me, "You work too much. You work too long," and I'm like, but it's not work. This has become my life, my lifestyle. From it. Unfortunately, I lost my last partner 4 years ago. He died, and that was really, really hard.
Mm,
And in order for me to cope with the grief and finding him dead, I put myself into work, and positive things have come out of that from it. So yeah, I work around my disabilities. I work from home. Most of the time I'm on the lounge with my feet up with an electric throw rug over my legs. Or in the studio. I have a full commercial arts studio here because we also teach wellness classes to people with disabilities. And I'm in there painting children's books now because that's what I do. I illustrate all these books for other people. And this particular book here, The Ums and Ahs for Sadness, was a scholarship book for Danny, and I illustrated it for free for him. And he's got a whole series coming out. And, I've got a guy up in Queensland, Lockie. He hadn't done any form of work in at least 15 years. He's got PLS, which is the big brother to MND.
mm.
He wrote, sorry, his book Memories Belong to Me, and he sold over 1,000 copies of it.
Wow. How amazing.
Yeah, and he's out and about on his scooter and he whizzes around Townsville. And my daughter has said to me, everywhere I go, I see Lockie's book. And I'm like, fantastic. That's great. That's
It's
glitter
working.
everywhere.
That's it. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Oh, amazing. So you work with so many different people then. It's not just people writing their own stories necessarily, or their memoirs or autobiographies or biographies. It's all sorts of books.
Yeah, it is. So, I've just picked the books today that are the scholarship ones. But I work with business people in producing their books. We've just done one on a family history, family tree, through it. I work with other illustrators and authors to get their kids' books out. We've just started a new imprint under Morpheus called Fantasos Literary House, because there's been such a demand with my authors that they're all writing these fantasy books, and some of them, dare I say, smut books is that technical term. And I'm like, all right, I think we need a new imprint for that. So Fantasos Literary House came about. So I'm all about adapting and modifying as well. And I think a lot of businesses don't do that. They don't adapt and modify. And, the business is organically going on one way, and they're trying to bring it back and conform it back over here. And I think if you can organically grow with the business, it'll be a success. So.
Yeah, well, absolutely. And clearly people are coming to you. You're not really having to sell your soul.
We're not advertised. We'll advertise for a workshop. And I supply bookmarks. So like these bookmarks, which have Morpheus on the back. But our authors are our biggest referrals.
Yeah.
The job that we do for them and how we look after them. I mean, as you know, Kate, the other day when you were at the workshop that we met, there was about 4 or 5 other Morpheus authors have written business books, but now all of a sudden they want to try and do a children's book as well. And, that's the biggest compliment is when our authors come in and they want to do another book with us. And we've got some that are onto their 5th book. So we're doing something right out there in the publishing world.
That's so good. And how many books have you published for other people, like through Morpheus? And how many books have you actually published over your time? Because I think that's quite, if you can remember.
Yes, some statistics. Look, the ones that we've got on the board at the moment under contract and and all the authors that we've worked with, we're now well over 100 because we do a lot of anthology books as well where people may not have the capacity to write a full book, but they'll contribute a chapter into something. And we've got one at the moment for the Heart of Women on the Gold Coast, the Heart of Women Awards. And it's a charity called Agape, and they raise money for homelessness. So I had a brainwave idea after their 10th award ceremony that let's put a book together of some of the past winners. So that's coming out on International Women's Day next year.
Fabulous.
So at the moment there's we're aiming for 40 in that. And I think we've had about 20 chapters. So there's 20 authors there. So it'd be well over 100 that we're working with. Myself personally, I think I'm up to about 17.
Wow.
18. And that's either illustrating or contributing chapters into books or writing my own.
Yes, which leads me very nicely into my next question. So earlier this year in 2026, you published your own memoir called Moxie, which I got my mitts on over the weekend. So I cannot wait to get going with that one. What made you decide to write it and publish it now? Why now?
There was a call for it. So when I get up and do my talks, people want, and I generally speak about my journey from being diagnosed with MS forward.
Yep.
But just like you, Kate, wanting to know, how I built the resilience and, my childhood and early adulthood and all of that. People really wanted to get into the nitty-gritty of the story. And so by popular demand, it took me 6 years to write it. I'm not going to say it was an easy write because it wasn't. It was very hard. And I did have that support from my counsellor as I was going through because it was bringing up stuff that I'd actually suppressed.
Yeah.
And I do have family members that have expressed to me that they will never read it.
Yeah.
And it's not from them having, no love for me or compassion for me. And one of them is my closest sibling is because he doesn't want to bring up stuff from our past that he has pushed over there. So
fair enough.
By me writing it, I feel so much lighter. I don't have to carry it all in my head anymore. It's down on paper. It's bigger than what I ever imagined that it would be. It's 170,000 words. She's a brick. And I was very fortunate to have Oprah's all-time favourite guest write the foreword of that book. Dr.
Oh, amazing.
She's the one that built the girls' schools in Zimbabwe. And she is a friend of mine and she wrote the foreword. So it's worth just reading the foreword. And it was actually when the foreword came in from her, I all of a sudden got self-doubt and was like, oh, my book's not going to live up to that. What am I thinking? What am I doing? The whole will I be good enough for it?
That imposter syndrome, which was
the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, well, I was actually going to ask that question because with you helping other people, there's your pooch.
Well, she started Morpheus because same but different was about her and her anxiety and everyone who comes in, he, she, we's over everyone. And I thought, wouldn't it be nice if we lived in a world that we all treated each other the same? Not we on each other, but we treat each other the same. She doesn't matter, it doesn't matter to her. She's if it's one of my disability clients in the studio, or if you're here for books or the house cleaner, whoever it is.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, don't pat us, shall we? So that's how Morpheus came about.
I love that. And that's the best story ever. I remember you telling me that over the weekend. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
So, yeah, back to the imposter syndrome. And, because you put this air of confidence out there and you've helped so many other people, you've got over so many life hurdles. I like to call them hurdles or road humps. And you then have, done your own books. It's always interesting. I think people have this misconception, don't they, that people who give out that positivity don't have any imposter syndrome, but you've just hit the nail on the head. You did, and you had that self-doubt.
Yeah.
How did you navigate that?
It stayed around for about an hour.
Good. Yeah.
It didn't stick around long. I've got a writing coach who
Yeah.
Andrew, and he's like, stop being stupid, Justine. It's fine. It'll all work out. It'll be good. And I've had some very hurtful things say to me. I've had the tall poppy syndrome as well, where people will bring you down. My aunt gave me the best word of advice, and I can't even remember now if it's in the book or not, in Moxie, is she says to me, stay in your own lane.
Yeah.
Just stay in your own, put blinkers on, doesn't matter what other people are thinking or saying, because they're going to say it about someone. Just stay in your own lane. And that's what I do. I stay in my own lane. And those people that are talking about you, they are 100% jealous because you're doing something that they don't have the balls to do.
Yeah.
And they're not paying your power bill or your gas bill.
Mm-hmm.
And if you let them consume your thoughts, then you're going to starve.
Yeah.
When you're an entrepreneur, you're going to starve. You have to work in order to keep the light bill on.
Yeah. And so when you have people come to you with their books, do you see that there's I suppose, a common thread or something that you might notice about people who finally have that light bulb moment? They've decided to write their book, they've written it, and I'm in that moment right now, and then they give it to someone they don't know. And then all of a sudden what do you notice? Is there a common thing that they all do once they've...
Yeah, they'll all say, I don't think it's finished.
Yep.
Or I don't think it's really good enough to actually publish, but can you just give me your thoughts on it?
Yep.
And then some of them through the editing stage can be very precious.
Yes, yeah.
Very precious when we change words to fix the grammar without losing your tone. Because I'm all about, not sterilizing the work as well. Voice has to come through. But it's normally like, I don't think it's good enough to actually publish. And of course it will be once we edit it. It'll be fine.
And have there been any authors who whose transformation has actually inspired you or surprised you in any way?
Especially the disability ones. I mean, Lachlan's a prime example, not working in 15 years, and he's a superstar. I mean, he did a book signing at Dimmick's on Friday.
Wow.
He's been out, so he's based in Townsville. He's been out to Charters Towers. He did the Winton Writers Festival recently and got up. Now, his voice is affected by his PLS, and he won't mind me talking about this. And he stood up and he did a talk.
Oh, wow.
On his author's journey. And it's just incredible on how far he's come, and he's beaming from ear to ear. He's actually writing his second book.
Fantastic.
About his mate Kerry, and it's called Mates Along the Track, and we're launching that again under a scholarship at the end of March in November in Townsville. And so I'm inspired. I've had another author, Harry and Hagrid Candlin. She wrote her first book in 6 weeks, 86,000 words.
Wow.
And it's called Bugger Bugger Shit, My Quest for Resilience. And it's a pleasure working with her. She went on to write another book, which she was very concerned about me reading, called The Anatomy of Domestic Violence.
Yep.
And it's a game changer in the domestic violence world, that book. And so just these brave people that are writing these stories um, is amazing, absolutely amazing. I've got one author, Kerry, who wrote Little Book with Heart. Kerry can't move from the neck down. She has primary progressive MS.
Mm.
And here she is still putting words out there, contributing to society. We published this book for her of all her poems. She's then gone on to one of the poems, turn it into a song, which is now part of a major exhibition in Frankston. Her her painting, she does mouth painting, so the painting has a QR code which takes it back to the song. It's like so many things
Wow.
for these people
Yeah.
that wouldn't have done it previously. I mean, and Harrod, um, she's doing talks on domestic violence. So, so many things have happened from the authors and that I've been working with.
That's so
So,
good.
so
I
many.
love it. And have you seen, has it been an increase? I mean, it's hard to know, isn't it? Have you seen an increase in the number of people writing, not necessarily through Morpheus? Is there because,
Well, I think at the moment, definitely since COVID, I think
yeah, well, that's, I suppose, where I was going to. People had time, didn't they, to just reflect and
down and
think.
read.
Yeah.
A lot of people are getting off electronics
Mm.
and are preferring to, pick up paper.
Mm.
I think smelling a book.
I'm a
Uh,
paper person.
yeah, I like paper books unless I'm traveling because then they're too
Yeah.
heavy and I'll read them on my iPad. But yeah, and look, there's a whole new genre coming out. Well, it's been out for a while now, but it's really taking off in the fantasy side of books, and you'll see fantasy bookstores opening up. Hence why we started Fantasauce Literary House.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think, the younger generations are really getting into reading. I produced, I'm going to say the cliche nerd, and he's a nerd, and yeah, the reading that they do as well
Yeah.
in that fantasy space. So
Amazing.
yeah,
So
definitely good to see.
it's so good. And it's hard to imagine that there's more to come for you because you've done so much. But do you plan or do you I
Lots
know
more.
you and I know you said a lot of it is organic for you, but what's next? What's over the next few years for you? What have you got what you'd love to do or what are your plans?
So we're in the process of redoing my website. I've got 5 websites and 16 social media platforms. We're in the process of redoing JustineMartin.com. More staff would be good. Can you imagine if I had more staff? Yeah, so putting on a few more staff members as well as Morpheus grows. I really want to get back out into international speaking
Yep.
in other countries, bigger stages to spread, the message of hope.
Mm.
My underlining message in all the businesses is hope. And, if I can do it, you can do it. And Moxie, which Moxie actually means grit, determination, courage,
Yep.
resilience. So doing Moxie talks, yeah, that's what's coming, spreading the message far and wide. No more businesses because this is enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually have 4 businesses, a company, a sub one underneath, and corporation over the top. So when I was just saying that, I'm like, God damn it! Last week when I brought out Fantasauce, I'm like, that's another business.
You're right.
And then probably no new bright shiny things, just work on the ones that we've got. And yeah, travel.
Yeah.
I love traveling. This year alone, I've had 35 air flights.
Wow.
Uh,
And we're
just
already
this
August.
year. I know, right? I know. I've got the next 6 months are quieter.
Yeah.
Though I have said if I get into the Stevie Awards, so I enter
Yes.
lots of awards,
Yeah.
and I'm up for lots of awards at the moment. I mean, over my shoulder here, you can see all the awards in the cabinet, and the other side are all the books that we published. But If I get into the Stevies, I might go to New York in November. We'll see about that. But I love traveling and meeting new people. We've got 20 book launches between now and the end of November happening. Life is busy, which is good. It means I don't sit around and sit on a pity party anymore because of it. And, my purpose out of everything that has gone wrong in my life is to give other people hope that you can get through this. You can build a really good, successful life if you choose to. It is all a matter of choice.
That's spot on. And that is your glitter in its finest form. And that's why I love you can hear your passion in just the way you talk. It's just so natural. And I love what you're doing. Flipping the lens now, though, it's called the glitter effect because I firmly believe people have a pot of glitter that they spread once they found their purpose and spread it with heart. But people don't get to this point without other glitter royalty who have inspired them to be who they are today. Who have been your inspiration, or who do you think has made you who you are today? And it can be a couple of people, it can be one person. Who do you think?
It would be my mum.
Yep.
I'll try not to get emotional with this. My mum and I had a love-hate relationship with each other, as I said previously. But what she endured in the 70s and 80s and 90s as a single mum with everything that was wrong with her, with no help whatsoever, because we didn't have NDIS, we didn't have anything back then for her. The resilience that she had was outstanding. I mean, she had 3 primary cancers. They were 10 years apart, each one. So when I was diagnosed with it, it's like, oh, well, mum had it. She survived. I'll be that kind of attitude. So, definitely my mum. My kids, we've been to hell and back, the 3 of us, homeless. Back in the early 2000s, that has shaped them as well. Definitely my kids, and I see what they're doing today and what they're achieving, and they're both in loving marriages with their own kids, and definitely my grandbabies. Definitely. In regards to celebrities, Tara Trent. Dr. Sarah Trent, most definitely on what she's doing, the impact and the thousands of children's lives that she's impacting with her schools. A game changer for me was Mel Robbins.
Yep.
And her 5-second rule. That was a game changer, and everything that she puts through, and Brene Brown as well, another one there.
Amazing.
So there's been, quite a few along the way. There's 2 men in my life, utmost trust, or 3, 4. Well, if you include my son, 4, but Andrew Jobling. He's been a very big help over the last 7 years in my life there, and Les Watson as well, and both of them are Christian men. Both of them have had an impact in my life and restored my faith that there are some good guys in the world as well, that they're not all tarred with the one brush. So, there's been quite a few people there. And I'm sure that there'll be other people to come. I've got 2 very close girlfriends that don't live in the same state as me, and we met and really formed a bond in a castle in Ireland.
Oh, wow.
In 2023, and one lives in South Australia, and one is in Queensland, and Bianca and Robin, and we chat pretty much daily on Messenger, and we have tri-calls, and the encouragement and the growth that I've had from those women is huge. So there's lots of people in my inner circle.
Which is exactly right. You don't get, and I think that's why it's a really important question. And I love it because everyone has such a different, and you can't answer it in such a short time, but I appreciate there's so many. But it's just important for people to recognize that you're there because of other people as well, which is why I like asking it. 2 more questions. Last one. If someone is considering a book. And if anything like me, I've always said, I've got a book in me, I don't know what, but it will happen when it's going to happen. And hopefully it's happening. But what
It is happening. No, hopefully. We need to reframe
I need to
that.
change. Yes, I do need to change that. I've actually just read Ben Crow's book. I don't know if you've read that. And he talks about instead of saying I've got to, you say I get to. And it's all about that positive mindset. So I get to publish a book over the next few months, which I'm excited about. But what would your advice be? What would you say to anyone who, like me, is like, I've got a book in me, I don't know what, or they've always thought of something? What would you say to them today?
Contact me. Let's have a chat. And let's put you in the right direction and work out what your book is, which is what I do. I sit down with people and over Zoom, most of them over Zoom. I work around with people all around the world now. And we nut out on whether it would be a business book or a children's book or a memoir. And then we sit down and work out what your chapters will be. And we go from there, and we can, get a draft up and going. And then the accessibility of coming into my inner circle writing group. And we work with that one-on-one, 2 sessions of one-on-one with me in the month, and 2 sessions in the community group where you get to meet all the other authors. And they're always such informative meetings when we get together every month for it. But you don't have to be alone in writing your book. Ask for help with it, and you're not a lesser person by asking for help. And when you get a writing coach, you'll work through your book a lot faster because there's that accountability, and you won't find self-doubt and get the imposter syndrome coming up.
That's it. Yeah, that's right. And that's it. It's that who cares? That's what I said, I've been writing a bit, and you go, well, who cares? Who will care? And you go, someone will. And hopefully if just one person reads it, then that's made the task worthwhile, I think. But I think it's really important to recognize that.
We brought a book out in 2022 called Whispers of Resilience, Our Stories of Multiple Sclerosis. And I say to people, it's a history book. People look at me strange, and I'm like, it's going to be a history book, because one day when they find the cure for MS, people aren't going to remember what those of us that had multiple sclerosis lived with.
Yeah.
It's 26 stories of people all living their own journey with MS. And just like, they nearly eradicated polio fully, but people don't remember what it was like. That generation had polio are nearly all gone. So, leave a book, leave a legacy.
Yeah.
Every book that we publish in Australia goes to the National Library to be held in trust in there, that future generations can read it.
That's so important. Yeah, it's great. It's so exciting. And the last question, the easiest one, how do people find out more about you, and where do they go? Obviously, one website and not your 6.
So just go to Linktree /Justine Martin Corporation, and they're all on there, or just look for justinemartin.com.
Yep. And you're on socials too?
Yes. So we're on socials, Morpheus Publishing, Resilience Mindset, Justine Martin, Geelong Residential Cleaning and Garden Maintenance, because, we like to have people live in clean homes. If you just type in Justine Martin Geelong or Google, you'll find me. I pop up everywhere. Work hard to put an imprint. And now I'm even AI searchable. Well,
excellent. I love that. Well, you've done your job. If you can be found like that, you've more than done your job. Well done.
That's right.
Justine, we've come to the end of our amazing chat. We could continue, but I really need to wrap this up now. Thank you so much for sharing your story so openly today. One of the things that's really shone through from our conversation is that resilience isn't about pretending life isn't hard. It's about continuing to create purpose, hope, and possibility, even when life doesn't quite go to plan, which you've done. I also love that you've chosen not to keep your story to yourself, because by sharing, it's opening up the world to your story and your experiences. And through Morpheus Publishing, you're creating opportunities for other people to find their voice and realize that their experiences, however ordinary they may seem, could be exactly what someone else needs to hear at that time. And that's such a beautiful example of the glitter effect in action. And you are one of the most glittery glitter queens I've had the privilege of chatting to. And to everyone listening, remember that your story doesn't have to be extraordinary to make an extraordinary difference to someone else. Justine, I really wish you all the very best with what's next in your journey. And I feel like we're going to be getting we'll know each other a little bit well over the next few months.
I think so.
Until next time, we'll definitely keep in touch, and I will be looking out for you as well with all your awards. All the very best, and take care. Keep sparkling. Thank you. Thank you for joining me, Kate Ganneil, on The Glitter Effect. If you've loved this episode, be sure to subscribe, share it with a friend, and let's keep the conversation going. Until next time, keep showing up, making an impact, and sprinkling that glitter wherever you go. Bye for now.